Wagwan, Mr. Maps.
Yes. It is I. Ubabu Maps back in the building.
He's the return, brother.
Nah, we back after a young sabbatical. I'm off the bench and I'm back in the starting 11.
Back in the starting 11. Did you enjoy your time in the time out? So we'll call it.
Yeah, it was a time to reflect, reflect on, what needs to be done better and all of that. So yeah, no. Can't fault the coach for telling me to sit down for 2 seconds, but no. In all seriousness, things were good. Everything is all right, and back on the pod, man. Actually missed you.
Why?
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the listeners. So
okay, because I was very surprised. So that must happen.
Oh my gosh! Hey,
what am I supposed to do with that information?
You know what? This is a little bit of a foreshadowing for what we're going to talk about a little bit later. But yeah, guys, welcome back. It is 6 Foot Weights, your favorite hour with your favorite cheese boys. My name is Tabo.
And I am Senna.
And we're here to do the damn thing for another week. Obviously, we can go straight into housekeeping. And just before that, and I'll touch on this again a bit later, because I've got a few points of order. Firstly, shout out, big shout out to Rich Moyo, aka Mtogo, for holding it down with Senna last week when man was MIA. And it was a hilarious episode. I was dying when I eventually listened to it. I was dying, man. Togo came. I said, Chief, you need to come in. You need to be free, bro. Free. Do whatever your spirit tells you to do. And hey, boy, was he free.
His spirit told him that if a hand is eating 4 slices of bread, he wants to see Wagwan.
What a mouth do. Oh man, nah. He was vibes. I know a lot of people gave some pretty good feedback. Like, I know this guy is, he's in there. He's definitely one of the board members at Cheese Boy Corp. And no. Shout out to Togo. Appreciate you, bro. Now that we know good to comfortable ride, then anytime really. If anything happens, if Senna's down, obvious, you're back. You're always there. We'll probably try to get in an episode at some point with all 3 of us, because obviously that's always vibes. But we'll go back to that in just a second. In terms of the housekeeping, not a lot from me, not too much. Firstly, guys, the GoFundMe for Quitch is still open. So when this episode posts, if you just jump on our Twitter page, I will have posted a link to the GoFundMe on the tweet that we obviously announced that the Lokuzen is up. The latest episode is up. So yeah, just go if you can, whatever you can put together, $10, 20, 100,000, whatever it is. It's going to a very, very worthy cause. And yeah, I know quite a few people listening to this podcast actually did go to Queen Elizabeth as kids, or and you've interacted with the school in some form, especially now Sabata. Yay, I'll keep you wallet. This is serious lab.
Wait, why am I Sabata?
No, because it's an SDA Lokuzen school or something along those lines. Like, I know it
really.
Yeah. Amasabata have got a tender there at Quitch. So please, Amasabata sicela libe serious. Akhona ukuthi hayi sizabathandazela. No, umthandazo siyawubongela sibili, but hayi lapha sokumele kukhulume ini, kumele kukhuluma amadola. Ayikhona i-RTGS but amadola. Yes, esiwadingayo lapho eQuitch. So please make sure do the right thing, otherwise sizaqasa ukulicharge for i-podcast. Sigcine sisibanika thina ama-proceeds lawo eQuitch. So do the right thing, otherwise we'll do it for you. In terms of the second thing, the YouTube page, obviously, shout out to Lindo holding it down there. 4 episodes of the podcast can be found on YouTube as well. If you are trying to be slick at work, or you're one of the few people like me who pay for YouTube Premium. That is an amazing thing. Like, that is the best $10 I've ever spent in my life. And you know what? They don't even charge me like monthly, bro. Like, they'll charge me $10
Really?
now one. And it's like they forget. And then after like 3 months, they'll come back and like, oh, you need to renew, which is another $10. So I'm essentially paying $10 like every 3 months. So I'm in a really, really great position with my YouTube, and I love that. So we'll also start to break down the episodes. So like make it, instead of the whole thing. I think we'll keep the whole thing. I'm not sure. We'll still figure it out. But we'll definitely post with different snippets. So like, the rundown will just be there on its own. If you just wanted to listen to the rundown with specific topics that we do, it'll just be that topic on its own. Then it'll make it easier for you to share with other listeners of the podcast. That's it from me.
There's a move amongst people to consume like smaller, should I say, quantities of content more than it is. And that's how TikTok has become so big. It's just like no one has time often to commit to an hour to listen to what we have to say, so they may just be attracted to just like smallangana
definitely
little things.
Everybody's
nothing. Yeah, bruh. But otherwise, nothing else from my end. Shout out to Mto for coming through last week. It was a really dope episode. It was cool. I really enjoyed it. And the feedback and the reaction has been great. Like, you guys really, really came through in the comments and in the DMs saying that you enjoyed it. We give thanks as usual. Thanks to everyone for reading last week's IP Thursday. I have this thing these days where I forget what the thread was about by the time we come to the next week.
Yeah, actually,
but it
serious.
was. No, I'm really not playing Senkosliwe.
Okay, glad to know that you care, Mr. Moyo.
No, I really do care. Like, legit, guys. I care.
It was the Lokuzin, Steve Jobs, Apple versus Twagin Love, Microsoft.
Wasn't that the previous week?
Really?
Oh, yes, it was Apple versus Microsoft. Yeah. And the reason why I'd forgotten was because me and Tor recorded on Friday, so I mentioned it on the podcast on Friday.
On Friday, yeah.
So now I'm like, no, man, I mentioned the Steve Jobs thing already. Why do I feel like I have to say it again? But thanks for reading. And special shout out to everyone. Special shout out to everyone who tuned in to listen to me Umanaring on YFM last night. That was dope. That was great. Siyabonga support. Keep it coming. That's it from me, Mr. Maps.
All right. Let's move right on forward and get straight into it. Let me see here.
Opening my drink now.
Oh yes, that's the first thing that I wanted to discuss. So just before we started recording, guys, Senna goes, in an effort to act more manfully, I'm going to grab a beer. Like, what does masculinity and beer have to do with? I used to think me and you were on the same page. So what happened? Have you tategat? What's going on, Mr. Moy?
No. So, dog, it's this thing, right? So I like strawberry milkshakes, right? It's really not the most masculine drink out there. First of all, it's pink. Secondly, it's a milkshake associated with kids. But I just like, we can get somewhere and then you can order your beers and whatever, and I'll just be like, can I please have a strawberry shake? It always seems very weird, right? My mom is tired of it. Like, literally, my mother said, "Sanami, so she strawberry milkshake since you were 4 years old,
so
5 years old."
Is that what you're trying to
imply? That's not what my mother said. So then I would switch it up, like in my terms of my drinks ordering. I get a cocktail or wine or a cider or whatever, right? Something that's always, it's light. Mm-hmm. It's drinks that taste nice, right?
Okay.
Standard. Except red wine. Red wine is a bit bitterish, but I like it still. So, anyways, my mother got tired of the whole strawberry milkshake thing. And then on Sunday evening, I stepped out to go get a strawberry shake. Mm-hmm. Right? So I was with some of my friends. We went to Roundabout passed by Steers. Steers makes the best milkshakes, by the way. Like, nothing compares to those Steers strawberry shakes. So I get a strawberry shake and then judgment from people. Alright, fine. So I posted on my status, I'm like, this thing is laced. At blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, part of this whole thing is ukuthi I don't actually like the taste of beer.
Yeah.
I never have. I have tried it. I have failed. I think beer is the most overrated beverage there is.
Yeah, beer tastes like rotten water. It's nasty.
Actually, yeah. But then at the end of the day, every guy, whenever they get somewhere, what do you have on tap? And that question, like, it always seems like a cool thing to say when you get to a place, right? You walk into a place like, what do you have on tap? Can I have a draft? I'm going to draft. I'm going to draft in 500 mils, you 1 liter, go in. I only found out Tugutin Good is the big one.
Wow.
I think
everybody
when I
knows
was in
that.
varsity.
Come on.
I just thought that it was a black label, any size of black label.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't. Dog,
This
I
is
lived a
your
very
MCM.
sheltered life. No one in my family drinks, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like very sheltered, very protected, right? So I decided, what is it in this beer thing that makes men like Fox very tandigangaga? Because I know Fox is a big advocate for beer. Shout out to Fox, by the way. He's a big advocate for beer. So I'm running an experiment, right, to see if me, throughout this podcast, so I've got 2 Castle Lights.
Okay.
How many mils is this? I don't know how many mils this is. It's like 300 mils.
Okay.
So 300 mils. So I've got 2 Castle Lights, 300 mils. I'm just going to try them as the podcast goes on. Then at the end, Tabo, I will tell you whether or not I've acquired the taste today, or whether I think I can acquire the taste for a beer.
Okay. Well,
Then next thing,
Good luck
then
with
next
that.
time we go out, I'm gonna be one of those Grootmans. We'll get there and I'll be like, "What's on tap?"
what's wrong with just getting a Hunters?
Yeah, no, I like Hunters.
Or Savannah.
Like Savannah. It's a bit.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
Hunters.
Yeah. The girls them have ruined the Savannah image.
I see.
Yeah.
No,
but
wow.
obviously the whole Castle Light thing is an experiment because it seems like a very guy thing. Like drinking beer seems like the Mchita Grootman thing to do, right? So this is me channeling my inner toxic masculinity.
I have no, FOMO or temptation to join you. I guess we'll hear from you at the end of the podcast. To Kamanjani. I don't know why you'd want to ruin your recording experience, but hey, I'm not your mother. Do what you want to do, and
It could improve it.
Anyway, guys, when Senna starts whiling at the end, just know what upanjaniso ipia. That's, I think it's very simple, that thing. But anyway, let's move forward, Mr. Moore. Real quick, I've got some points of order. Like I said, y'all were whiling on the podcast, and there's a couple of things that you guys discussed where I had to stop and write it down and be like, nah. Because Mtogo, you see, the thing is, Mtogo knows you, yeah? But like, there's certain things, especially doing a podcast with you every single week, there's a lot that I've picked up on. So I know when you're capping. I know when you're bullshitting. Like, there's...
When I'm bullshitting.
There's certain, things that there's tickers that I know where I'm like, Pranagum Togo, maybe 10-0. And it's just like, had I been there, I'd have checked your ass immediately and be like, nah, Mr. Moy, let's not lie to the people. Anyway, we'll get to, I guess that will be the last one. That'll be the last one where you were capping big time. The first thing that I wanted to just kind of quickly dive into, really briefly, was the engagement ring search. And personally, I don't think you grilled on Togo enough on why he hasn't gotten married. Who the hell buys a whole... Okay, buying a house, understood, fair enough. But who goes and... He hasn't... Just, this is why Amandebele have a bad reputation. Because the word on the street about Amandebele is that, we don't marry, but say meetisa. You know what I mean? We are fertile, but we do not invest in permanent relationships. And this guy is going around perpetuating this. He came here, I've got every single Apple product, every one of them. And if you combine all of them, put me engagement ring lapa. But no, ama Apple products. If you see his closet, Mtogo has, and I kid you not, probably 50 plus pairs of sneakers. He was even trying to sell.
Yes, he actually does.
At some point, because there were just so many. So again, you saw that sneaker, and this is not ama all. These weren't Vans. These were Yeezys. These are sneakers that cost a couple $100. And again, like I said, engathengisa even half engagement ring yaphuma khona pha. So there you took it easy on him, where I was like, nah, you guys are busy, ngoba cousin busy, giving each other softballs. I wish I was there. I was like, this is nonsense.
Giving each other softballs.
No, honestly, bro. Like, I was just like, when you're playing, if you were to play cricket or baseball, let's do baseball. It's like, how they pitch in baseball.
Throwing
right?
it underhand.
You guys were throwing each other underhanded pitches. Just nansi lapho chaya phela cousin. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, what are these niggas doing? So Mtogo, hey, you need to come back and we need to discuss. What's going on here? Because again, as a Mandebele, we're looking bad. We can't have one or out of the three of us. It's me or Kayanganu serious about doing things the right way. Omunye Feli doesn't even want to date. Omunye doesn't even want to date at all.
Keeping it low key. I'm keeping it low key like Issa Rae. Okay,
hey, that was actually a dope post.
Y'all just go and see me getting married.
Okay, hi. If that's what your position,
from where?
If that's your position,
How?
then it's okay. It's okay. I will have problem. But anyway, so that's one Moyo. The other Moyo is doing everything but getting married. This is like a test of batali school fees. Actually, so it's just like all this other stuff. Wait, trust me, Mtogo's not getting married, right? No, I'm kidding. The guy is going to do the thing soon. But in terms of the engagement search, I was gonna say it's a weird psychology when it comes to buying a ring, because I went in, I don't know if I ever said this, but I went in with a certain budget, right? And I was like, right, this is what it is, this is what I'm gonna do. And then when you start thinking about this is the ring that's gonna be on her finger forever, or for at least 5 to 10 years, right? And this is something that you wanted to show off, and again, it's a reflection on you as a man as well. So if it's a bust item, then it's like, oh man,
that's a reflex on you with my ninja.
Exactly.
So
that's where it gets tricky at the end of the day. And obviously his friends are wild, because £7,000 on a ring, that's madness. That's, again, that's an M2 in South Africa, bro. That's a BMW M2 right there in South Africa. So like that's okay, no, that's wild. No, it's a deposit on an M2. I'm sorry, but Oksala is that's way too much money. But if you're looking at anywhere between, I'd say this is what my recommendation to Mtogo would be, anywhere between £2,000 to £4,000, anywhere in that region. I think that's more than enough. I think
at 40,000 rands to 50, 60, 70,000 rands.
Yeah, anywhere between 40 to 100,000 rand. I think that's anywhere there. You'll get a pretty good looking, good sized full rock, that's 1 point something carats peso,
that's the procrastination syndrome, to be honest. In reality, it's one of those things where there's always something, right? Like I'll always be like, oh, I need to buy a new car, then after that I need to buy a house, then I need to pay this and pay that, and then before you know it, every year something else comes up which will take precedence over the thing.
Yeah. And then that's why sometimes at some point you just got to jump in, otherwise life will continue, guys. That's the thing. What I've learned is life will keep going. There will be new stresses every single time. So when you have that opportunity to do something, do it. Otherwise there will be every reason in the world to pay attention to something else. But anyway, that was my 2 cents on that. The other thing that I found hilarious was the whole comment about she's not the one when when you mentioned Uguti, you drop a picture in the group chat and none of the niggas respond.
Curtains. Quiet.
No, if it's cricket, I've been in a situation where that happened, and she didn't last. She didn't last at all because everybody was just waiting.
Wait, you threw the picture into the group chat?
No, Moya, come on.
Come
on. It wasn't me. I however was once guilty. So I have this thing where with the group chats, a lot of the group chats that are super active, I will mute, like if I'm busy or like stuff like that. So when I was, I think maybe this was a few years ago, someone chucked a picture of his Han, or a Han that was about to become the Han, right? Like things were now right? But he hadn't tuned us about her. And she threw the picture in the group chat and they all had a discussion about it, right? About the chick or whatever. But obviously, when I'm reading, it kind of just started with the picture. So I saw the picture and immediately I responded. I'm like, hey, bro, whose Steve is this? So that got really, really awkward.
Tabo, can you please translate to the people what a Steve is so that people can know how trash you are?
No, okay, fine. I just said this is an unattractive individual, essentially is what I said.
You're lying. You called her a Steve.
No, man. Like, you don't need to directly translate. Those who understand Steve understand. She was a grenade. And it got awkward, was obviously.
Because grenade is better than Steve.
I mean, I guess you can say, grenade is better than Steve because you can say because I was the bomb, right? So it's like,
I don't put it past you to say that. In their face.
No, not in their face. I wouldn't say that. But again, I thought because like a few days prior, there was a situation similar where a Han was being roasted. You know what I mean? Like, so it was just kind of okay, cool. I'm skiwing, right? Part 2. You know what I mean? And then it turns out it wasn't part 2. So things got very, very, very awkward. But I luckily the WhatsApp delete function was already there. And the guy didn't clock it, but everybody else did. So, yeah. Anyway,
seems on brand.
That's enough of that story that I'd like to divulge. But Mr. Moyo, this is where you were capping. Togo turned to you and said, "Senna, what's your story?" And you gave us this lame ass story about, hey, was it 30 seconds? I can't even remember. It was bullshit. I was like, Senna, because in my mind, I went specifically to one story. I was like, this is the one. This is so perfect.
Side note,
you didn't say it.
Can I just say? Toa asked me on the spot, so I may not remember some of the things.
Nah.
In the past, in my life, it might have come up in that second. Like,
how am I remembering it faster than you? Because also when he said that was also the first time I was hearing that as well. So we literally thought about. I wasn't asked the question, but we both thought about the question at the same time, and in my mind I was like, nah, fam.
I still don't know what you're thinking about at this moment in time.
Okay, let's put it this way.
No names, just say it.
Yeah, no, obviously no names, but I'm trying to give you a hint to see if you're going to divulge the story to the people, because the people do deserve a story. Togo was right. The people deserve a story, and you have a story, and I know this person does not listen to the podcast, so there's nothing to be afraid of.
I don't remember.
All right. You know what Foot Locker is, right?
Foot Locker?
Yeah.
No. Oh, the shop, sorry.
Exactly, but it's for sneakers.
Yeah, the sneaker shop, yeah.
Okay, so now you should remember who I'm talking about.
I don't.
Oh my God. Seda, where did you meet? You met this person in a sneaker shop.
Oh, shit.
There we go. That's the one.
No, but that was different, right? And that was different in the sense that wasn't a petty reason for not wanting to date someone. That was some real shit.
But it wasn't. The person didn't say petty. He said, when did you realize she wasn't the one? So it doesn't
Yeah,
have
but
to
most
be
of those
petty.
stories were like, okay, fine.
Nah,
So
nah. A
for
lot of
those who
those
want
weren't
to know,
petty.
fine. For those who want to know, once upon a time, a couple years ago, I went on a date with a girl who wasn't even a date. It was more like drinks.
Which is a date.
Whatever, it was drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway through it, this person, I was actually freaked out at the time, but anyways, this person zoned out. Like she went blank. It was when like her face just went blank, and she like, zoom. So I can tell she's not here anymore. So I'm like, hey, how's it going? Are you okay? Are you good? What's up? Is everything alright? And then she snapped back, and she came and she's like, sorry, I see things. Now at this moment in time, I'm like freaked out. Like I'm like,
Yo.
I see things. What is this? Like I see things. I'm like, okay, things like what? And she's like, no, I communicate with the dead.
How? Angaze ngikuze lokho.
She says I communicate with the dead. So this was very interesting to me because this person was a different race. I'm like, so obviously I can't say we are Twasa or whatever. So I'm like,
what is Twasa for those who are not of a Nguni origin?
I may get it wrong, but I think it's when you are going through sort of the transition, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, Chef. I'm no expert in Indolezi, but I think that's when you are, going through accepting your gift.
Yeah.
Or dealing with accepting your gift as someone who communicates with the ancestors and spirits
Underground
and
gang.
whatnot, right? The underground gang.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I can't ask this person if, she's doing Intozamatlozi, because obviously I'm like, this is weird. So I'm just freaked out, right? As one does when they're freaked out, they text their best friend and they're like, my G, you will not believe what I am going through right now. So anyways, this girl says she can see the dead, and craziest thing, she says that one of my dead relatives is communicating to me at this very moment in time, and she told me that such a person is carrying messages. She's like, this person is carrying messages, and she started asking me very personal questions. Like now, mind you, at this time I've had like 3 Long Islands, so I'm like, I'm a bit,
Yeah.
at about 3 Long Islands, and I'm like, okay, cool. So she's asking me all these personal questions, and I'm like, okay, why? Like, why do you want to know this? Like, no, it's just because this person is trying to communicate to you. She's carrying messages and all these things. I'm like, bro, this is some weird shit. Let's just leave it. And yeah, I did not talk to that person after that evening. I was like, nah, like, no.
And then for my boy Mtoro, I have to ask this question. Did you press?
Did I press what?
So you're pleading the fifth.
No, that's personal information, dog. But all I'll say is, I never spoke to that person
Ever again.
Nah,
that's freaky as fuck, bro. That
because I was like,
legitimately, kudos for you
and
for finishing your drinks. Me, I'd have run away, bro. I'd have been like, it's okay, thanks.
No, but you have to still be like, kind.
No.
So I don't know what this person's going through. So I'm like, okay, is it like a personal thing, wagwan? And the reason, and I never actually I only think about that story in very specific contexts. It doesn't pop up in my brain immediately. That's probably why I didn't even think about it, because I don't count. I think my mind rushed very quickly to just get rid of that experience because I was a bit freaked out. Not that I have anything, obviously if you have a gift and you can communicate with the underground gang, I respect that.
Yeah.
If kuyinto yakho ngiyakuhlonipha lokho.
Yeah.
But I think in that moment, that is not how I saw my evening going.
Yeah, it's not. It caught you off guard, essentially.
It caught me really off guard, and I just remember speaking to Tabo the next day. I'm like, bro, that was some crazy ass shit.
Yeah, no, that is an experience and a half, fam.
I think I rushed to forget it, and when in your head it's just still chilling there rent free.
Oh, of course, rent free, bro, rent free penthouse. But anyway, those were my points of order in terms of last week's episode. Oh yeah, and then obviously you guys touched on what I had said. And there was something that I wanted to clarify. This was high school, bro. This wasn't even college. This was a high school experience. Or that story was a high school experience. And yes, obviously she was, she wasn't black, she was white. But yeah, that was a lot.
Hey, and Togo said he would have pressed on, dog. He said he would have just.
Yeah, no, Togo's wild. I couldn't do it. I was like, nah, fam. And there's like, it's the dad, the mom, and like two little girls who are like, I don't know, 5 years old, 6 years old. So I was just like, check, guys, like this can't be. this is not it, guys. This is And the lounge is like what, 5 meters from the bedroom, so it wasn't far. Grim house, but it wasn't far. Like I was like, nah, fam, this is. You never know me. I'm black, bro. Bali will get a shotgun, lap or a movie. Nah.
And them American fathers don't play.
Nah, fam. I was like,
all them guys.
German, dog. I was like, yeah. I don't want. It's okay. This one can miss me. Tomorrow is another day.
It can miss me.
The sun will shine again tomorrow. Like, I am Togo's mad. But anyway, man is a father right now, and I'm not. So it shows. It shows.
He did say he didn't become a father by stopping things halfway.
That's true. Man, he finishes the job. So credit to him.